All right, so here's a topic that's going to be fun to talk about. How is this story indicative of H.P. Lovecraft's racism?
Yeah, so I've been in reading up on in getting into these H.P. Lovecraft stories, I've also been looking at like scholarly thought on it, and a lot of people are like, by the way, he was really racist and xenophobic, and you cannot like a lot of people will just open up their critical analysis saying like, did you know H.P. Lovecraft is racist? Okay, now it's time to talk about his story. And I think at least so far, the ones I've read, I mean, you'll have him mention like the Mad Arab, and I don't know if that's racist or if that's just him saying this guy is an Arab and he just happens to be mad. But then,
I think it was the former more than the latter.
okay,
And I gotta be real. I gotta be real with you.
yeah, I mean, like, and that's the Nyarlathotep, right? That's who he's talking about there.
No, it was Abdul Absan.
Oh, see, yeah, it all blurs together for me. So, like, he'll mention that, but I think I don't know about if this is so much racism as just his, like, him wanting to stay at home and, like, keep everyone away from him. But, like, it seems like most of these stories involve, like, somebody goes to a strange place and then something really horrible happens to them, and they would have been better off if they had just stayed at home. And, like, I watched a little bit of a documentary about H.P. Lovecraft after reading this, where it was like talking about how much he hated just like leaving his comfort zone, how he just wanted to stay at home, and that reached out and included like his disdain of other like how he was anti-Semitic, and like he just talked about like just some really horrible things about people coming to America, and I don't know if that lasted his entire life because.
Oh, it did. It did.
Okay, well, I was going to say the woman he married and eventually divorced, she was Jewish. So it might have softened some, maybe.
He always gets like the more fun episodes whereas Goofy, it's more like, hey, I'm just gonna be Buster Keaton for about 15 minutes. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah, yeah, that is interesting then that he gets like. Because, I don't know, there's something relatable to that, right? Like, you've been doing the thing... Like, I had this just the other week. It was very comedic film-esque, where I was at work, and I was trying to load a stapler. And, like, I had it open, and the spring made the top come down and slam on my hand, and I was like, ah, fuck, and, like, that kind of vaguely angered me. So then I open it again, and I start working on it, and I'm, like, really making sure that I got it all the way open, that it's not even gonna, like, have a little bit. And I start fucking with it again, and this top comes and slams down my hand again. I'm like, motherfuck! And so I open it a third time, and I'm like, I'm holding down with my spare hand, and I'm gonna work with just the one hand to place the staples. I'm holding down the top with my spare hand, and then the front comes back and slams on me, and at that point I picked up the stapler and fucking threw it on the ground. And then I walked up to the front with the broken stapler and said, hey, the stapler's broken, I'm taking this one. So, like, that's a very relatable situation where you're just in, like, these day-to-day things and things go wrong for you, and you get really just irrationally angry. And you, like, if you could see yourself, you know you'd be, like, laughing at yourself or you think you're an idiot for being in it. But it's the situation of being in it and having those crazy things go wrong for you that I guess makes Donald relatable then, right? That's pretty funny. Like, they really put a lot of thought into this in a really cool, like, this is kind of the thing that you could only get away with in a fan film, and I really like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
And
Even though I'm not a fan of any of these franchises individually, I get to, like, it's fun talking to you guys about it because I'm, like, vicariously experiencing the joy through you. And I definitely got that feeling watching it too. I'm like, God, this looks like it was a ton of fun for them to make.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
Didn't it,
I'm
you
sure.
you know how this started, right? The gem one, because Chickbait did one other video.
Yeah, they right after the trailer or the actual movie for the 2015 Gem movie came out, they did a little 5-10 minute long Gem reacts to Gem and the Holograms movie video. where they were all sitting in costume, watching it and crying and saying, "Who did this? Who signed off on this?" sort of thing. And they had so much fun, and everyone loved it so much, they did a Kickstarter for this. So, yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I didn't get a ton of time to go through, like, the history of this. I just watched the, I think the director-writer's Q&A video post this, and so it's really cool that they were able to get so much momentum and that the fan base was able to get something much more in line with what they wanted from a Gem movie. So that is a really cool little backstory to it, I think.